we are back to this image just to show you how to make basic contrast. By basic contrast, that doesn't mean it's just playing with curve. I mean to set up perfect, well-defined contrast on the image, having the highest possible control you could ever have on the image. So let's just jump right into it. And of course, with next lesson, I show you how to keep control of each color separately, but now how to make this perfect contrast on the image, get this amazing cross through the highlights to the shadows. So we create two curve adjustment layers. One curve, and I'm going to call this highlights. And they copy this, and the other will be called shadows. Now, I'm gonna start with highlights, and my favorite way of setting up the contrast is to select color range, and look at this. What do we have here? We can choose the color, so we can, you see, select sampled colors. So we can choose sampled colors we have. Of course, we could probably define the highlights by this. Look, have a look, easily. We would absolutely define amazing highlights for it, but this is not the point. Except these sampled colors, we can choose each color separately, and below that, what's the best? We can choose highlights, midtones, and shadows, and this is the key to the all success we have. So let's move the range up to 255 and go with fuzziness up. We get higher to see at which point the highlights have the greatest definition. Look at this. I believe it would be around this point. Hit OK at this level, and I'm moving to my highlights, and just go up with your curve. Just slightly till the point you see your highlights are perfect. It's changing some saturation values, so best is change blending mode from normal to luminosity. Let's have a look. This is just pure amazing. I'm also grabbing the curve over here to go down a little bit, and this is how we create this amazing highlights. Next step, shadows. I'm going to shadows. I'm going to once again select color range, and this time I could invert the highlights, or I can go to shadows and this time range down to 0 and go up with fuzziness. And let's see at which point the highlights will have the best definition, and we are around this, I believe, somewhere here. Hit OK, and now slightly define the shadows just like this. Change blending mode to luminosity once again to not change the color values, and now I'm going to put these two layers into the group. Ctrl-Alt-Command-G, I'm going to call this contrasts. And this is how you create amazing contrast on the fashion images. That's something I truly like. So let's jump into other images. I'm going to show you how to get even more control and get really flexible with the lights on the image.